Okay, we are going to read the book Fly Away Home today by Eve Bunting. And you should have just watched and seen the video that I explained what symbolism is. So we're going to read this book and talk a little bit about one of the major symbols in this book. So Fly Away Home by Eve Bunting, illustrated by Ronald Himmler. My dad and I live in an airport. That's because we don't have a home, and the airport is better than the streets. We are careful not to get caught. Mr. Slocum and Mr. Vale were caught last night. 10 green bottles hanging on the wall, they sang. They were as loud as two moose bellowing. Dad says they broke the first rule of living here. Don't get noticed. Dad and I try not to get noticed. We stay among the crowds. We change airlines. Delta, TWA, Northwest, we love them all, Dad says. He and I wear blue jeans and blue t-shirts and blue jackets. We each have blue zippered bag with a change of blue clothes. Not to be noticed is to look like nobody at all. Once we saw a woman pushing a metal cart full of stuff. She wore a long, dirty coat and she lay down across a row of seats in front of Continental Gate 6. The cart, the dirty coat, the lying down were all noticeable. Security moved her out real fast. Dad and I sleep sitting up. We use different airport areas. Where are we tonight? I ask. Dad checks his notebook. Alaska Air, he says, over in the other terminal. That's okay. We like to walk. We know some of the airport regulars by name and by sight. There's Idaho Joe and Annie Franny and Marsman, but we don't sit together. Sitting together will get you noticed faster than anything, Dad says. Everything in the airport is on the move. Passengers, pilots, flight attendants, cleaners with their brooms, jets roar in close to the windows. Other jets roar out, luggage bounces down chutes, escalators gliding up and down, disappearing under floors. Everyone's going somewhere except Dad and me. We stay. Once, a little brown bird got into the main terminal and couldn't get out. It fluttered in the high, hollow spaces. It threw itself at the glass, fell panting on the floor, flew to a tall metal girder and perched there, exhausted. Don't stop trying, I told it silently. Don't. You can get out. For days the bird flew around, dragging one wing, and then it found the instant when a sliding door was open and slipped through. I watched it rise. Its wing seemed okay. Fly, bird, I whispered. Fly away home. Though I couldn't hear it, I knew it was singing. Nothing made me as happy as that bird. So actually, to stop right there, this bird actually symbolizes something. What do you think this bird really means? The author isn't just telling us this story because it's a nice story about a bird. It has deeper meaning. So I want you to think, what is the deeper meaning of this bird? And we'll come back to it. The airport's busy and noisy, even at night. Dad and I sleep anyway. When it gets quiet, between 2 and 4 a.m., we wake up. Dead time, Dad says. Almost no flights coming in or going out. At dead time, there aren't many people around, so we're extra careful. In the mornings, Dad and I wash up in one of the bathrooms, and he shaves. The bathrooms are crowded, no matter how early. And that's the way we like it. Strangers talk to strangers. Where did you get in from? 3 hours our flight was delayed? Man, am I bushed. Dad and I We don't talk to anyone. We buy donuts and milk for breakfast at one of the cafeterias, standing in line with our red trays. Sometimes Dad gets me a carton of juice. On the weekends, Dad takes the bus to work. He's a janitor in an office in the city. The bus fares $1 each way. On those days, Mrs. Medina looks out for me. The Medinas live in the airport too. Grandma, Mrs. Medina, and Denny, who's my friend. He and I collect rented luggage carts that people have left outside and return them for 50 cents each. If the crowds are big and safe, we offer to carry bags. Get this one for you, lady? It looks heavy. Or, can I call you a cab? Denny's real good at calling cabs. That's because he's 7 already. Sometimes passengers don't tip. Then Denny whispers, stingy. But he doesn't whisper too loud. The Medinas understand that it's dangerous to be noticed. When Dad comes home from work, he buys hamburgers for us and the Medinas. That's to pay them for watching out for me. If Denny and I have had a good day, we treat for pie, but I've stopped doing that. I save my money in my shoe. Will we ever have our own apartment again? I asked Dad. I like it to be the way it was before Mom died. Maybe we will, he says, if I can find more work, if we can save some money. He rubs my head. It's nice right here though, isn't it, Andrew? It's warm, it's safe, and the price is right. So we just learned that his mom died and his dad doesn't really have a good job, so that's why they're homeless and they're living in the airport. But I know he's trying all the time to find us a place. He takes newspapers from the trash baskets and makes pencil circles around letters and numbers. Then he goes to the phones. When he comes back, he looks sad and angry. I know he's been calling about an apartment. I know the rents are too high for us. I'm saving money too, I tell him, and I lift one foot and point to my shoe. Dad smiles. Attaboy. If we get a place, you and your dad can come live with us, Denny says. And if we get a place, you and your mom and your grandma can come live with us, I say. Yeah. We shake on it. That's going to be so great. After next summer, Dad says, I have to start school. How? I ask. I don't know, but it's important. We'll work it out. Denny's mom says he can wait for a while, but Dad says I can't wait. Sometimes I watch people meeting people. We missed you. It's so good to be home. Sometimes I get mad and I want to run at them and push them and shout, why do you have homes when we don't? What makes you so special? That would get us noticed, all right. Sometimes I just want to cry. I think Dad and I will be here forever. Then I remember the bird. It took a while, but a door opened. And when the bird left, when it flew free, I know it was singing. So here, what does the bird actually symbolize? Well, I think the bird symbolizes hope, or the idea of him getting free out of the airport and getting an apartment, right? And it also a door here, a door opened. For the bird, a real door opened. But for this boy's dad, we want a door to open where he can get a job. For example, a door opening is a new opportunity. So that's some symbolism that the author uses. The bird, it doesn't just mean that it's a cute little bird that lived in the airport. The bird symbolizes something that's broken and then gets set free. Please go ahead and work on the worksheet that is attached in my Stanford. Let your teachers know if you have any questions.